As per the normal, when we enter a new system for everybody, you can either make a culture spacer check or a culture traveler check to see what you know about this planet or the surrounding space around it. You may make your pick, and everybody may roll it. I'm going to have Boomer roll, and he's going to get advantage because he's been studying it.
Because it is based off intelligence or wisdom?
It is based off intelligence, yes. Boomer is going to do...
Quick, we have 2 minutes.
Or, that's what I was just thinking.
Or criminal, by the way. If you wanted to roll criminal as well, that's totally a thing you could roll.
Wow.
We don't know anything about this.
Wow. I'm re-rolling.
This is fine.
Holy
we got to
shit.
get it out of the way.
I'm re-rolling.
Yeah, true. Okay. We're going to need a lot of good rolls.
Oh my god, you guys are so bad at this game.
Oh my god, what? What? Fuck this game.
Also,
oh
I realize I can't do advantage
everything.
skill checks, so I'm going to give him a +2 on it. He's actually, since he's been studying this specifically, he's going to do culture criminal. Okay, Boomer saves the
Thank God, Jesus.
Boomer knows a little bit, hooray!
Even with a freaking +2, I still rolled a freaking 3 and a 5.
The only one that actually gets anything, because none of the rest of you, except for Philip, of course, got even a basic success, which is a 6. So Phil, you're gonna get a little bit about the population here and the planet itself, because that's what Traveler gives you. Not much though, not beyond like what you've read in textbooks probably, because you only got a 7.
Yeah.
Boomer is going to know quite a bit about the criminal activity here, which is most likely directly related to like how the Stockland Syndicate have been operating here, which is going to be directly related to what you guys need anyway, right? Where are we even going again? It's awesome. Phil, we'll start with you. So this is the home of the Yith. All right. 0204. Let's go ahead and pull up. It is the Socrates system. It is the planet Yasmin, and I will remind everybody. Remember to add notes, please.
Yes. Because
I'm bad at taking notes, and so I kind of rely on you guys to do that. So it is home to the alien race, the Yith. And the Yith are a humanoid race that have long tentacles on their heads. They are a TL3 society, which is basically late 20th, early 21st century, right? So basically what we are now. Maybe a little bit prior to this, like their cell phones might still be Nokias, right?
It's the Razor, right?
Or Razors, right? Not iPhones, super smartphones.
I mean, that's good because, you know, those old Nokia phones actually count as TL5 weapons.
They sure do. Yeah. When you throw them, they're actually TL5. In fact, Oscar, you have to watch out for them throwing them at you because they can go right through that assault armor.
Right.
just literally, you'll catch it and you'll sink into the core of the Earth, or core of the planet.
You know, there are people who try to cover spaceship holes in those if they've amassed enough of them.
Yeah, totally. But yes, Nokia jokes aside, they are a late 20th, early 21st century in technology level. So they do have space travel, but it's about equivalent to what we have now, right? Like, they probably have satellites and maybe a space station for, like, trade and stuff. But they do interact with TL4 societies, which is odd because a lot of times when TL4 technology is introduced, the people of a planet adapt to it. Or some of them develop it on their own anyway. For example, the Tan and the Sriek developed their own TL4 technology, right? It's all the same mechanically, like by the book, but they did like go through their own development cycles and figure out their own way of doing things. The Yith have not quite gotten to that level yet, which is probably because their planet, I don't know, it shouldn't actually say inert gas. I don't know why it says inert gas. It shouldn't say that. It's not an inert gas planet. Their planet itself, arid. Oops. Whoopsie doopsie daisies. I want to type
breaking things.
I did break something just a moment ago. They have a very arid planet, and it doesn't produce a lot of usable materials. So it's probably what has slowed their progress in general. They have limited spacefaring technology, like I said, so they have, like, rockets. They use biofuels, or I'm sorry, not biofuels. They use fossil fuels, because probably during the scream or whatever, there was probably an extinction event that occurred on this planet, and it is mostly desert, as I've kind of described, based on the base location and before. There is a unique thing about them, though, that everybody knows. They have these things. They have a symbiotic relationship with another entity that exists on the planet. Although there is no information available to anyone, including yourself, with all of your mass of knowledge. Simply the name, the anemone. And if we scroll down, we can see the anemone is a species of alien. Anemone. It is. It actually biologically fuses with the Yith on their on like the top of their forearm, and it's been used as a weapon before. They can use them as weapons. And the secret of this and the power of this is kind of what's kept them from being basically overrun by any other like more brutish forces. For example, Barba Society would love to destroy / harness this technology. Perhaps some others as well, but yeah.
Oscar.
Right, yeah. The Yith are not xenophobic themselves unless it comes to the anemone. They are extremely xenophobic, and talking about or attempting to like conduct research on will get you jailed or even exiled from the space forever. But again, they don't have really the technology to keep the most dedicated individuals out. Boomer shares the knowledge that it appears that about every week, like once a week or so, there appears to be a ship that transmits codes that he's identified a pattern in that appears to go to and from this location that you guys are planning on hitting, right? The location, and so it's about a week every week that he notices this. It transmits valid docking codes to the command or the control towers down on Yasmin, and then receives valid docking codes to leave the atmosphere. And it seems to do this almost like clockwork, about once a week. So, in addition, with his 11, he can gather some more information as well. He probably gathers some more information about how big of a force might be here. And this is through some other contacts that he would probably not share, seeing as they are criminal contacts. But I think we revealed before that there's an alliance between the Daybreak Enterprises and the Boomer revealed, like as part of his backstory, that there is a kind of a shaky alliance between the Stockland Syndicate and the Daybreak Enterprises, because of some cover-up that occurred, like in the past, and so someone owes someone else, and so etc. But what he says is he probably mentions that in addition to the structure being able to probably house and provide for maybe 10 biological bodies, maybe more on a good day, they have an armament of security guards. Security armatures that are outfitted very clearly. Daybreak Enterprise make very clearly standard issue infantry armatures, and those are actually kind of scary. They're probably more scary than just your typical average guard, right? They definitely. He also says standard issue, and he probably looks notably like at Oscar when he says that. He says standard issue means that they're outfitted with laser rifles mounted on their arms. Which might pique Oscar's interest in something.
Yeah.
But hey, it's good information to have going in. You're lucky for that 11.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think with that information, he says, 10 is not insurmountable, but without knowing exactly what these armatures are capable of, we should be extremely wary.
Agreed.
Also, by the way, I might need to mention that he knows we're coming.
You-
Philip just face palmed.
So the Captain Picard facepalm moment.
Yep.
Yeah, totally.
So, I believe you mentioned something to that effect, but at this point, unless we are turning around, it is neither here nor there.
Just wanted to make sure we had all the information.
Yep, and that's what your 5 got you, Gogo. The fact that you were still aware that he knows you're coming. Or someone does, at least. Cool. So what is, with the final snippet of information that you can get from space, what is the plan of attack here?
I want to do a flyover of said facility, like high orbit flyover / scan the area without getting shot.
Okay.
Well, I'd like a fucking pony. I don't know that that's gonna.
Well, I would like power armor, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. So the issue
when you say flyover, are we just ignoring the surface-to-air missiles, or do you mean...
I'm hoping that they don't think we're a threat, because we're just flying over. We're not stopping or...
Oscar says, I suppose they will find us a threat, Fortune. They have no reason to believe otherwise.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying do like a 5-foot flyover.
Yeah, I think he's talking about like literally from orbit. Try to see if you guys can scan.
Okay. There's a big difference to me, and I apologize if this is not what you were suggesting, but to me, scan from orbit is very different from do a flyover.
A flyover is negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. A scan from orbit is definitely different. Yes.
Okay, that's completely different.
Yeah. The other issue here is political. As we've been kind of avoiding that aspect of it. Should you guys just decide to fuck all and just fly straight down there, you'll probably have to deal with the Yith government, right? Like whoever controls that entity, because they don't take kindly to ships just flying into their space, regardless of how technologically advanced or not they are. However, it would take them probably a few hours to respond to a location. Like you may get some like jet fighters, right? Because that's the type of technology we're talking about. But like actual troops on the ground would take a while in the equivalent of Blackhawks, right? To get over there, to like ramp up, fuel up, get in the chopper, fly over there. Reasonably, you might be able to get in and get out before that happens. But I don't know how much you guys care about pissing off more local governments.
I think that's outside of what Oscar is going to voice his opinion on.
Okay. What about Dr. Fisher? What does Dr. Fisher think about all this?
The political aspect, to be clear.
Not the whole thing. Obviously, the whole thing is batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Specifically, the political side of things. Okay. Okay. I thought he was not here. It's gonna be like, okay, well, thanks.
I'm still half shitting a brick, so
there's literally half a brick being shat.
Some fans. Okay, well, if we're going to...
How hard would it be to get... I mean, if we just start firing at start a firefight in the middle of the desert, will their government be aware there's a firefight in the middle of the desert?
They have enough technology to notice your ship coming into orbit, and that might cause them to investigate. No, well, not might. Like, it would cause them to investigate that. If, like, they get some investigating things over there and they see there's a firefight, yeah, they're probably going to send troops, regardless of their affiliation with anything.
Yeah. Would we be able to just say, hey, we're traders coming into trade, and then land and start a firefight?
Not at that location.
It would probably delay the response to said firefight, but, you know.
Yeah, so the deal is, you know, they have a very big regulation on where they trade because of their secrecy with their biological life on their planet in general.
Yeah.
So saying, hey, I'm here to trade, and then flying to the facility or close to the facility, because the facility, I should mention, is not near basically anything.
Yeah,
it is middle of the desert. So immediately once you didn't start headed towards the landing dock where you were supposed to trade, immediately they'd be like, hey, where are you going? And if you didn't respond, they'd be like, okay, well now you're a derelict ship, and we need to investigate. And then that's when the fighters launch and the cap is set up, and all of that fun stuff.
So the guy that we're trying to kill, he's obviously
not kill.
Interrogate.
Interrogate, then kill, but
interrogate. He's obviously a fairly big criminal.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So, would the government, obviously, do they turn a blind eye to his dealings, or...
We don't
That is a great question.
Because I was just gonna say, is it really that big? Like, maybe we want to go talk to them. Like, maybe we don't want to avoid them.
The risk is that they will say, you know, criminal or not, he's on our planet, we'll deal with this, and then obstruct our ability to...
Yeah.
I mean,
then they know what we're after.
Right. Even if you are not with them, and Matt has a great point here. Even if they are not working with Stockland, they're still not going to want you going and poking around over there. Like, regardless of anything else that happens.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like we need to just drop in, and then this seems like a case where if the government gets involved, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Like, we just have to go do it.
Is the ship's goal just to piss off every single government on every single planet?
We're trying.
Will, welcome to the game.
Welcome aboard, Fisher. Welcome aboard.
This is where shit goes crazy.
Okay, my second question is, since Boomer knows about this ship with the docking codes, where are we in the week for that particular ship?
Well, I don't think it would matter because you could always just wait, right?
Well, yes, but I'm saying, how long would we have to wait?
I mean, it's probably comes at the start of every week, and so it is currently the 22nd, so it probably is supposed to arrive on the 26th of this month, so in 4 days.
Okay.
So, what is the
where's the line of thinking there going? Go.
Okay.
Or Fisher, if you have an idea.
Well,
so, just kindly asking the government to let us buy won't work.
I mean, you could try it, but probably not.
Disguised as traders to sneak in probably won't work.
Probably not, but you could try it. You guys can try anything. I'm down for any option.
Yeah, as before, like, I think that we have a number of things that we could try with slim margin for success in terms of getting the government on our side. And if any of those go poorly, we've shown our hand, and the bigger problem is that someone might be like in this guy's back pocket, you know, who might tip him off directly. So I think that even if he knows, you know, maximum vigilance can only be sustained for so long. If they know that we're coming, I think it's still worse to tip them off to the day that we're trying to come.
So the only real plan of action where we know to a great degree of the outcome of it will be to charge in loud, kind of break some
quickly at the very least, yeah.
And then try to get out before we get completely destroyed by the government fighters.
Yes.
Yeah, and to be fair, the government fighters probably wouldn't stand a chance even to your wimpy ship in like an aerial combat, but if you get caught on the ground, they've got missiles just like anyone else. They could just fucking light the whole place up, and that would
then what if we just say we're here to trade, and they'll direct us, say, okay, we'll come over to this landing pad. Say, okay, at least it'll give us maybe an extra 5 minutes on the ground before they realize we're not heading towards the landing pad to scramble anything to go check us out.
But then
I mean, I think we should just avoid them altogether, yeah.
I still think...
But then our ship can be prone to be destroyed by them just for that.
Yeah, like, so the other thing is, I mean, what are their capabilities of actually detecting you flying in at a high rate of speed into a place you're not supposed to be?
We just need to do this as quickly as possible.
Yeah, because remember, they're TL3. They are TL3.
Yeah.
We just need to get in, get out.
All right, then let's all go jump on our motorcycles.
So is it?
Let's ride into the sunset, guys.
Is it literally? Are you going to like land the ship right behind that plateau? Everybody hops out.
Can we? Can we still do this scan from orbit?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, and try to figure out what maybe that thing is.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a plateau or a building. Or
sure. Yeah.
Totally. I think
another spaceship.
I think getting in as quickly and inconspicuously as possible, some distance from the site, trying to like evade detection for as long as possible until we're ready to go in.
Yeah, you could always try and find a place to hide the ship once you get on the ground. They would still have to physically find you.
Yes.
That's a thing that you could do.
That is something we would like to do. Well, I would like to do.
Okay. So let's just recap. I'm going to recap so that everybody's aware of all the scenarios here.
All the things.
So we have a surface-to-air missile battery.
Mm-hmm.
We have these anti-vehicle lasers that we know have a range of effective range of about 1,000 meters. We have a sensor array building here that allows us to basically scan the area. They can detect things coming in. Everything else on this map you can see, and it is what it is, basically. Down here, we have the facility that's nestled up against all of these, this tall, like, kind of spiry canyon, right? So there's not really any path through it, but it's also not... You can't, like, land a ship up here. It's all, like, a bunch of, like, straight... It's like stalagmites, basically, just, like, giant, rocky stalagmites sticking up out of the ground. There's the fucking what's the word I'm looking for? The crevasse. The giant
huge valley.
Yeah, the huge like sheer drop from the side of the mountains down here. Then there's the facility, right? That's this kind of nestled in there. This is sandy dunes, kind of Sahara deserty. This is more kind of rocky, probably provide a little bit more cover, right? This is arid flatland that has like a lot of like maybe a little bit of shrubbery, maybe some cacti, and then this is that plateau thing that's about 1.5 clicks out from there. Okay, everybody good with this? What's going on?
I think so.
Park ship in pink is my suggestion.
Okay, so so the goal is maybe scan this area a little bit more heavily, try and find a good landing spot for the ship, and then come out like here.
Yep.
So you have less distance to travel to the facility.
Correct.
And find out whatever this is.
Right.
maybe a better understanding of what this is.
Yeah, because it definitely appears due to the scan like it's a plateau. Like it's kind of like that Arizona like goes up like almost straight and then is completely flat on top and then goes almost straight down on the other side. Cool. So, you guys are traveling your 6 hours into the. I think he just likes writing things. And you guys travel your 6 hours into the system, and notably you don't get like anything from the planet, right? Like there's nothing from the planet that pops up when you enter the exchange range. You just get the normal kind of spam letters flying back and forth, etc., etc. And it isn't until the planet is actually in like visual range that you get like a faint. It's actually whoever's at the comms. You probably don't recognize it right away. But after some finagling, you realize that it's a radio signal, right? Because everything's done by radio signals in the 20th and 21st century. And it's a radio signal. It's like a ping, right? And so, like, you have to get closer as you approach even further. Eventually, like, when you're halfway between where you got the ping and the planet itself, you get a message from the planet. And it says, welcome to... It's like an automated message that, like, once you pinged, it sent the message, but it took a while to get there, right? Because radio signal. And once it sent it, and it's like, welcome to Yasmin. The Yith people greet you and hope that you will have a peaceful journey into our gravity field. If you would like anything, please contact the control tower when you are within range. You may trade at these locations, and it gives you lat long coordinates for the different locations that you may trade at. And it says also these areas are off limits in our spatial zone. And it shows like a couple of different areas where it shows like a.
Is it precisely where we're trying to go?
Literally this one spot.
So it's not on the planet. They're talking about in orbit.
Okay.
To be clear. There's like an area where you can see like there's like a space station that they want like a perimeter around, like an ISS basically that they want like a perimeter around. There's like a large telescope, it's the Hubble telescope, or the Yibble telescope in this particular world. Don't you fucking laugh, Will.
Shake my head at you.
And so there's a couple areas that you're not allowed to like fly into in space, but they also make it reasonably clear that like those like there's probably like 5 or 6 trading posts all kind of sporadically throughout the planet. They make it pretty clear that that's like the only locations you should go to with your ship.
Got it.
And it also says, as a courtesy, when you arrive within our space, we ask that you remain in orbit until you receive a docking code so that we may register inbound and outbound traffic.
Okay.
No, we don't do those things, but that's fine.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So luckily, if you wanted to go into geosynchronous orbit above the location where you needed to scan, you totally can do that. That's a place where you can just like wait, right?
Please.
So you can do that, and you can we can make a scan roll. Who's going to make said scan roll? It's going to be a computer's
Boomer.
Boomer? I think the doctor might actually be the same as Boomer.
I have a overall +1, so.
Well, then maybe that is untrue. Characters.
Listen, if you're gonna kill Boomer this session, we're gonna get one more good roll out of him.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Computers. Oh, he's got a +2 overall, so he'll go ahead and roll it.
Sure.
With intelligence. Hey, look at that. Boomer's rolling hot today.
Damn. We know some stuff.
So, you get a good geographical scan of the area. And I think it reveals 2 things to you that you didn't already know. The first thing that it reveals is it actually tracks a vehicle moving across this small bushes and shit area. And during the scan, the vehicle travels to here, and then enters the facility and remains there. You're too far away to get like a good accurate scan of it, but it appears to be larger than... It appears to be a medium-sized vehicle.
Okay.
And it was traveling at I would say, a normal clip. Not hellishly fast, not not super slow. It appeared to be traveling at a reasonable clip, and it made it over to here, and then disappeared kind of into the facility. You are also... Oh, actually, there's 3 things that you get. You are also able to see and scan that... You remember I was talking about there was catwalk that was being built around these areas, right? Around the outside of the building. I talked about that the very first session. We talked about it. Construction appears to have been completed on that.
Sweet.
And there is catwalk that kind of lines almost all of the buildings around. The third thing you get is... well, actually, 4th thing, because I think you guys want to find a landing zone, too, so I'll add that in there. The third thing you get is this plateau here appears to be natural. It appears to be a natural formation of the rock. There is nothing too out of the ordinary that you wouldn't expect normally in that area. And then the 4th thing, you probably find a decent landing space, but it's probably like right in the middle of this somewhere. Right in these couple of boxes. You find a decent landing space that would allow you to park the ship. It's kind of a tight squeeze, but it would be relatively hidden unless they were looking directly at it from the sky, and definitely would be hidden from any of the outside areas that would try and look for it. So you find a reasonably good landing place as well.
Sounds like our spot.
Yeah, I mean, reasonably good is the best we can hope for at the moment, so... So, is that sufficient for you?
Yes.
Okay.
And now I have one small request. While we're coming into land... Well, never mind. Disregard. That would blow everything. Ha! Okay.
What would the request have been?
To do a really
flyover?
the flyover of just the plateau and drop me off like at speed. I'll just drive out of the back on a motorcycle.
Is that not like roughly where the ship is going to be anyhow?
I mean, like one could enter from in here, like this direction, like drop off and then fly to the landing zone. A big problem here is, they have sensor equipment. You don't know how good it is.
Yeah, I saw it. And
so
you'd probably be able to see something
either
by that low over here.
Right, and it's only remember this is only 1.5 clicks out, so it is not that far away.
Yeah, I was.
But also they might detect you just coming straight down anyway, depending on their level of sensor equipment and whether or not it would pick up a ship. Because you're also not in like a small tiny fighter, right? Like you guys are in like a cargo hauler.
Yeah.
So it's not a hard ship to detect.
How far out were we planning on landing? Was the landing area over here?
So it would be like as the map shows right about here. So it'd probably be about a click out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then never mind.
If you were looking for a nest, you could probably find one in here. You might not might not have the vision that you would have being straight out from the facility. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you could probably find a nest in here somewhere, but you may be, because like you may get cut off by the mountains a little bit, or not be able to see things. Like if there's a building like right here, you might not be able to see things in the back.
So we're gonna be about 1,000 meters out over here, anyways.
Yep.
So they're gonna probably see us coming in either way, right?
Yeah.
If they can scan us at 1,000 meters here, then they can scan us at 1,500.
Right. So like the other deal is you guys could land like really fucking far out, and like try to come up on motorcycles, but then we have the governmental issue, right?
Yeah.
Of like,
All right. So well then I'll get dropped off on the plateau here and see what I can see, and then relay what I see to everyone else as they're coming in, and if I need to move closer or something, I can.
And wasn't the doctor riding on your motorcycle?
He is.
So he's getting dropped out with you?
Correct.
I could drop him off or something.
The doctor's just gonna be taking his fucking trip across here. Just all by his
Yeah.
fucking lonesome, man.
Straight at all the guns by himself. Yeah.
I'm hoping the other two will be a big enough distraction with their rocket launchers that I can just sneak
I mean,
by.
This is gonna be fantastic.
a rocket launcher is gonna be real loud, but that's still really funny that you're just gonna be like all by yourself.
I think we need some silver spray paint before we conduct this mission, so that we can ride shiny eternal in chrome.
So okay.
This is the Mad Max of plans, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
I love it.
Basically,
it's gonna be great.
In 50 words or less, who is on what vehicle? How are we approaching? What is the plan?
Okay.
Myself and Dr. Fisher will be dropped off on
Here,
Plateau.
You know what? Let me make this actually super easy. Let me.
Whose bike am I on? Am I
No
on a
one.
bike?
I
No
thought
one.
you
No.
decided that you weren't because you can
Okay.
move ridiculously fast.
Okay.
I can move compared to your old bikes. Now you move considerably faster than I do.
Well, they've only got one of the good bikes, which
Okay.
reasonably will be the one that is farther out.
So I can move at 18 kilometers an hour,
Look, guys,
and I can cover that distance.
Put your tokens where you're going, guys. Let's make this
I
a real
can't
plan.
control mine. Oh, well, yeah, again, I just have to select the right thing.
Yep. And Boomer is with Go-Go, right?
So we would end up over here. He
Yeah.
will probably be with Go-Go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Do we
I'm
have
gonna,
a ship token?
Sure.
Some motorcycle tokens?
Sure, I can find some motorcycle tokens too.
Hell yeah, let's do this.
I'd
my
rather
plan-
do all of the planning right now, and then the next week we can just literally just do it.
Yeah,
we can just jump
agreed.
right
Yeah.
into it. So,
So if
here's a
I-
ship token.
Mm-hmm.
So if you three kind of go directly this way, I would drop Fortune off and then
Boomer control.
zigzag.
Yeah. I mean, you could even...
I'll just give you control of his character sheet, actually.
Okay.
You could even, like, drive over this way into the dunes so they lose you again and come back out on this
There you
side of the dunes.
Yeah.
So you're not, like, just driving straight at guns, which would be bad.
Yeah, so I could drop you off.
However entertaining, not good.
Hold on,
Yeah,
I'm looking for one with actually a sidecar, but continue.
Jordan, I can't control the other motorcycle.
Nobody can control the motorcycles here.
Okay.
Yeah, so I drop Fortune off. I circle round, and then overcomes. We say, "Go, go, go!" This way.
Motorcycles are controllable.
Yeah, I think, yeah, so you would have one over there. Yeah. So, Matt, I'm not sure you'd be with us to start.
Yeah, I would think
and
so.
then you could go in this way. Oh, I don't have my directions.
I worked it out, and I should be able to cover that distance in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems
So I think my plan is, if we're detected at all, they're going to be focusing on the giant plumes of dust being kicked up by the sidecars coming at them. I think you all should delay slightly so I can try and get it, because like you will overtake Oscar in pretty short order.
Yeah.
But if I get close enough, I can do some damage to like the guns, or
Yeah, a
blow
monoblade you
you
could cut the
away
barrels
in.
right off and they'd be dunsies.
or blow them off the ground completely.
Yep.
But yeah.
All right. So
And
I
that'll,
was
that'll
thinking,
give me time to scan and get whatever more information I can.
yeah, I was thinking he was gonna go, sneaky breaky, and like teleport.
Yeah, we land. Oscar kind of starts charging in. I drop Fortune off and circle round, and then Oscar will be close to the base. I'll be in position, so us three charge in with sniper cover. and your slashing blades.
You know who I forgot actually? There we go.
Chan? Because Chan is a usable character.
He totally is. He's probably real good at melee combat, to be honest. Remember, peak physical condition.
Can he teleport?
He cannot. He does not have MES.
Does he weigh 75 pounds?
He weighs much more than that. Remember, peak of physical fitness.
Remember, we don't have a place for him to actually ride.
Actually, we do, because Dr.
Oh, because he
will
dropped
have
you
an
off.
empty sidecar once we get
Yes.
dropped off out here.
Oh, did you buy another sidecar for the other motorcycle?
Oh,
I thought
no, we did not.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
right.
think you did.
No, I don't
No.
think you did.
There we go. Hey, I just want to make sure you guys know all of the available resources, okay?
Oh, God.
Oscar, you could totally teleport with Stanley.
No.
Stanley.
Yes, sacrifice humans. No, sacrifice pets.
So Stanley and Chan guard the ship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Per usual.
Is Chan given a rifle to guard the ship with this time again?
Boomer has an extra combat shotgun if he wants.
Yeah,
He
he
does.
took. Yeah.
That's technically Oscar's extra combat shotgun, but yes.
I was pretty sure it was a gift, but yeah.
No take backsies, Matt.
GG no re. Okay.
So we can bang this out in like 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, if we just execute exactly what we just said,
we can certainly
wanna-
get started.
Do we want to go?
If-
who
if-
wants
if-
who wants to go 5 hours?
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. I want you guys to be 100% sure this is what you're going to do, and be ready to adapt because the situation may change because you don't know the full capabilities of what's going on in here. So
There'll probably also be
as a beginning
vehicles.
plan, you're going to fly over. Fortune, Dr. Fisher, and Oscar are going to hop out of the back on top of the plateau. Fortune's going to do a scan, see what he can see, start relaying messages to everybody. Dr. Fisher is going to ride down into the dune area. Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
And try and
yes.
take cover in the dunes as he approaches. Oscar, you're going to move up with your blinky stealth through the small bushes and shit.
Yep.
And then Go-Go, once you land the ship, you and Boomer hop in the sidecar motorcycle combo. You give Chan a combat shotgun. You tell him to shoot at anything that comes through the door. And you guys ride off through the rocks and stuff.
wait for the signal wait for Dr. Fisher to get
until
into
I'm about here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Sure.
then-
Yeah. You
and then both
wait for said
come-
signal.
come from
Yeah,
either angle.
I'll probably give that signal because they'll probably have sight on everybody.
So
So he'll come in from left, I'll come from right.
crew,
Yep.
how are we bringing our hostage back?
Straight to the ship.
How?
I mean, tying him up and
Hogtied?
putting him in the sidecar and then Boomer riding bitch works.
Okay, we have
Yeah.
but we have like
Yeah.
Because at that point,
semi-realistic space.
At that,
we
you're
can-
right. At that, like,
at that point, like a -1 is not a big deal.
Okay.
at that point, we
Already
just got to get the
plus.
fuck out, right?
So it doesn't matter,
And,
yeah.
and also, you may just kill everyone and then be able to just take your time.
We might just kill everyone and then, well, we still got the government who will.
You still
come and
want,
check
yeah,
out what's
you still
going
want to
on.
move kind of quickly.
Yeah,
I don't think
will,
that's
you will
what
be
is
on a
going
time
on.
limit here.
but we probably won't be shot at going back to the ship unless it's by the government. So
Right. Yeah.
Also, to be honest, depending on how shitty this guy is to Go-Go, he might not be leaving the facility. Let's just be honest about that for a brief moment.
so
Do we want to figure out? Does everyone? I feel a sneeze coming on, and I'm like,
I need to set up my
I'm trying to-
character
I'm
sheet for
trying to
what I'm
power
bringing
through.
down to the surface with me, though.
yeah. I am pretty much all set on gear.
Oh,
but
I need to
don't
make
know
sure
what everyone
that-
else is doing.
This probably will be a thing where I'm like, okay, you have what your encumbrance gives you. Because
Yeah,
it
that's
may
right.
be a prolonged mission.
Yeah,
I have to go
I
back and
figured
do
as
that.
much.
Okay, sure.
Because I still have like random shit from our other.
Okay, Boomer still has cyborg Abul.
Yeah, I know.
On his
I gotta go.
sheet.
Yeah, we gotta take all this stuff and leave it on the freaking ship because I even have stuff I don't. It's gonna take a bit.
Okay. So with your scan done and you've got your plan of attack at the very least.
Which will turn out horribly, but okay.
Hey, it's a plan.
What's our encumbrance again? I forget how that works.
So
you get half your strength in readied items, and then your full strength in unreadied items.
Got it.
And the backpack gives you -2. You have to have the backpack readied, but it gives you 2 more items for unreadied.
Okay.
So basically, net total gain of 1.
Yeah.
Unless it's a T4, which is -2.
Right. Correct. Because it doesn't cost any encumbrance for the T4. Which I think you both have anyway. So yeah, so it's net gain 2 then.
So you're saying that we need to account for ammo and possibly food?
Yeah, if you want to bring food. Yeah. I would say yes.
And med kits and
med kits
syringes
and stims.
Hello?
And yeah, no, everything. So that may be one of those things that we do in between.
Yeah, we're
but
gonna have to.
we can set the opening scene here if you guys would like. If you guys are set, I get a confirmation from everybody that this is at least the plan that's going to make first contact with the enemy, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, cool. So, you guys get it all set up. It's probably like we probably see some Yith, probably female. She's probably got a bluish tinge to her skin tone, and she's like typing on a computer, and like she gets like handed like a piece of paper with like some. She's like, gotta issue some more docking codes. Okay, what's this one? Trader ship. Yep. Fueler. Yep. West Wind Trader. Yep. And like right as she hits the send button, we see like we do the shot that they do with like radio waves in the movies where like it bounces to a cell phone tower and then it bounces to a satellite and then it bounces to your ship. Right as Gogo like hits the throttle button, we see the message pop up. Greetings from Yasmin. Your docking code is whatever the docking code is. And then you're just like right into the atmosphere immediately.
The government is initially like, wow, they really want to trade.
Wait, where the hell are they going? Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah,
totally. So as you guys begin careening down, you get the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh of the clouds blazing by you. And you burst out through the cloud bank, and you see the ground rapidly approaching you, right? Because I assume Gogo has just pedaled to the metal, full throttle, on her descent, and you look like you're just going straight at a big patch of desert, right? Like that's what it looks like. And as you guys are flying down, you probably get do you go as like low as possible and then skim across the ground until you get where you need to go? Because obviously you don't want to come down like straight on it, right? Like maybe you want to skim across the ground, maybe make as low a profile as possible.
Yeah, I mean, as fast as I can without wrecking things.
Cool.
That's my plan.
Yeah. So we see from now from inside the facility, we see a guy who's wearing like a rebreather mask, but it's like hooked up to tubes to like a tank on his back, almost like an oxygen tank or whatever. And we see him like take a breath. He's like, we see him hitting some buttons on a computer, and then all of a sudden you see him like look. And he's like, "What the? Hey, you see this?" We see another guy who's got like a cigarette like in his mouth, but it's like burned all the way down. He leans over. He's like, "Ship's not supposed to come for another couple days." And the guy with the rebreather, he's like, "Yeah, I know. Who is this? Are we expecting anybody? A VIP, perhaps?" And you see the guy go, "No, I don't think so. We better call the boss." And you see him like flip out his compad and like hit a few buttons, and he's like, "Hey, boss, we got a ship coming in. Don't know who it is. And he's like, we hear like a somebody like rolling over in sleep, and we hear him like hit by their combat and then hit the combat eventually, and he goes, shoot them down if they get too close. If not, don't wake me up. And he kind of like tosses the combat back, and you see the two guys like kind of look at each other, and they're like, maybe. He's like, well, maybe we shouldn't have bothered the boss. Let's go at least get some approval on this. And one of them kind of like walks out, and we see him like walk out in the sun. He kind of like shields his eyes, and we see him like walk over to another building, right? Like an auxiliary building, and he like opens up the door. He's like, what's this guy's name? He's like, Duboff, I got something you gotta see. And we see Duboff has got like binoculars, and he's looking through like a bunch of slats on a window. And we see through his binoculars, he sees like tracking the ship in the distance. And then it's right as you guys like slow down over the plateau. And he takes his binoculars down, and he's like, this is bad. Rouse the boys. And then we jump back to you guys. And Fortune, as they're like, the ship slows down. How do you... First of all, I want to see the scene of the two of you, really, because Oscar can just blink. But the two of you, like, are you actually going to like drive it off of the ship, basically?
Yes.
Oh, of course. It's
okay.
The
all right.
Full...
It's that high speed, low drag landing.
Okay, sure. So you, I'm gonna need a vehicle land check.
I was just gonna say, where's that land check?
With dexterity, I think, to make sure you don't just like fishtail and crash.
Yeah.
Difficulty's probably gonna be like a 10.
Holy shit. Okay.
Can I assist with how amazing I am at flying?
Sure, if you want to roll a vehicle space and get a 10 plus,
yeah,
they can get a +1.
Nope. Good luck, boys.
Have you rerolled this already?
Reroll?
Oh no, I have not.
Do you want to reroll? I mean, we're probably not going to get into
yeah, there's literally nothing else happening, so yeah.
Yeah, totally. Nope. Good luck, boys.
And that's what I was about to say. Dr. Fisher, do you want to drive off since metagaming you have a reroll?
I mean, that would make sense, though, because Dr. Fisher is going to stay on the bike.
Yeah, because you're the one he's dropping off.
Yep. It's true.
Do it, I believe. I don't believe.
I have higher dexterity, but you got 2 rolls to get over a 10. So.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh my god!
So it's not a critical failure. It is a failure. So, Fortune, you probably the vehicle probably hits and bounces, and you're not expecting the bounce back, and so you probably like come out of the seat a little bit, and like you have to like run your feet along the ground, and as he like hits the brakes and slides, you maybe slide off and skin your knee. Doesn't do anything mechanically, but it doesn't look as cool as you wanted it to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
My ego's a little bruised.
Yeah, exactly. Your ego's got us.
Dr. Fisher puts his brainy specs on the top of his head, and I'm sure asks if you're all right.
Yeah.
And Oscar, I assume that you just like step off and then you're on the ground.
He kind of just like jumps out, and then it falls for a little bit, and then normalizes his velocity.
Yeah.
A foot or two above the ground.
Yep, and they just
shakes his head a little bit, looking at the scene that's unfolding on the bike.
Yeah, it's a great start. And
his confidence is already shaken in this plan that they're.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think we're doing fine.
And Gogo, you head off to that area, but I want to see the 3 on the. So, do you guys just enact plan immediately?
I would have made it.
You would have made it hardcore, yeah.
God damn.
Aww.
Yeah, you would have made it. You would have made it real good.
Sad.
Yeah, I mean,
+2.
I think Oscar is already like.
Yeah, you're the one that's going to take the longest
taken
here.
off. Yep.
Yeah, to get where you need to go. Sure.
So he's like doing the T-2000 like Terminator, yeah, he's just full on sprinting and teleporting toward this.
Yeah, totally.
Toward the base.
So Fortune, you I assume drop down at a good spot, bust out your bipod, put your scope on, look down the scope.
I survey scan the small bushes and shit, and see if there's anything hidden.
Oh,
maybe.
Okay, yeah. Roll me a computers test. Isn't that what that survey scanner uses? Does it use computers? I think it actually has a thing that it uses.
I can't remember the last time I read that.
Scanner. Oh, it's science.
I mean, I also have one, so up on top before I dash off.
Yeah, he's your spotter, right? So he could do it.
Yeah.
Dr. Phillip is the science guy.
Okay.
Dr. Phil, the science guy.
So, int.
Yep. Based on wisdom, I think. This isn't in the moment reading the scan, not your knowledge of terrain or anything like that.
Not carefully assessing all the...
Yeah, I don't think you're taking the time to carefully assess it. You just want to get the scan and be like, okay, ooh, you already used that reroll too. Yeah, it's you don't get a great scan of it. Maybe the scanner got damaged in your drop, or something. Or maybe
Can I
you're
also
just like,
make a scan?
Well, maybe your face or eyes got damaged in the drop, and you just are unwilling to accept it. Fortune, sure, you can make a scan too with science and wisdom.
Nope, I know less. All right.
How about Boomer? Boomer's got his
No, Boomer's not there.
Pip Boy.
Boomer's...
No, but he's no.
You guys are still flying currently.
Okay.
This is like immediately after they drop off the ship. So Fortune, you're gonna take your scope out, I assume, and start surveying.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna show everybody this. This is what the base looks like from the front.
Okay, that doesn't look great.
I don't
like torpedo launcher.
Well, that's the
isn't it the thing we need?
Yeah,
the surface area thing.
Mm-hmm. So this is kind of what it looks like from the front. It's a rough guesstimation of what I described, obviously. It's not 100% accurate, but you can see the catwalks have been completed. You can see that there are the two anti-vehicle lasers. See that? It's awesome.
So that's scale, right? 90 view.
No,
Just
it is not. You can see this vehicle garage here.
Yeah.
And you can see the torpedo launcher, which clearly has like a little command center power supply thing underneath it, and then the sensor tower that I was talking about that can scan things. The slats that I was talking about is clearly these right here. That guy was looking out of, right? Yeah, or those. Either one. Doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's generally what it looks like.
Okay.
You'll see a better picture when we go to the other map as well.
And I relay all said information.
Right, that's why I'm showing everybody, because like, people can generally figure it out.
Yeah.
So
it overcomes. So.
Right. So Go-Go and Boomer, you guys land. You give Chan a combat shotgun, and you hop on a motorcycle and head on out with Boomer in the sidecar, I assume. So let's go ahead and get a roll out of the way here, just before we end. I would like a... I think that it's going to be a navigation roll with wisdom in order to navigate through this rocky terrain efficiently.
Oh, God.
She's good at navigation. Should be fine.
I'm just thinking I'm going to get lost in the sand dunes.
Sand dunes aren't going to be navigation for sure. Ooh. So you're able to do it, but like I think there's a point where like you probably turn a corner and it's a dead end and you gotta kick it around and turn and go backtrack a little bit. So it's going to take you probably a little bit to get there, which may be good or may be bad.
It's actually okay because I'm waiting for them anyway.
Right? Yeah, you're waiting for the signal anyway. But like, I think there's probably a moment where Boomer just kind of like turns like his head just slightly and looks at you, and you just like put your hand like in front of his face and push his head back towards the front, so he's not looking at you anymore or something like that, right? Because he's aware that you're getting lost a little bit. But
maybe you could do something to help, Boomer. You do have a scanner on your frickin' wrist.
Right, he's like, yeah. And he'll try and scan so you can get an improvement on that.
Thanks.
Let's see. Science. He's actually not great at science. He made an 8 though. So yours counts as an 8. We'll just say he assisted you with that, right?
Okay.
So you do a bit better. You're able to navigate fairly efficiently. But I think that the last thing that we see before anything happens. Fortune, you've got it down. I assume you're not firing yet, right? You're not
not
laying
yet.
into him. We see Dr. Fisher like kick the kickstand up, give you a sayonara, and head off to go down the dunes.
Yeah.
And as he does that, you wave or whatever, sight and scope, and you see this, but come bursting out of the entrance here, you see 2 hover cycles, and when they exit, they careen to the left and head towards where the ship landed. And I assume you just like put your head up to the air and be like, problems.
Yeah.
What do you say?
On the way. We've got 2 tangos on hover cycles headed towards the ship.
And Oscar, you can see them too as you're like teleporting. They're much farther away though. You're probably like a third of the way across the area by now, right? You can see them just turn off and go towards those rocks, towards where the ship landed.
Yeah. So I think
like, you're not going to catch them, but you see them.
No. I think Oscar he confirms and he says they appear to be heading to the ship. Perhaps if we make enough noise up here, that will not be an issue.
Okay, understood.
Cool. And then I think that's where we end for the week.
Yeah.
And we'll come back next week for more great adventures.
For our final episode.
Yeah, might be the last episode of the arc. We'll see. Dr. Fisher, we knew you so little.
Hope you didn't work too hard on his backstory, Will.
We spent, 3 hours doing Dr. Fisher? It was one of my more reasonable character creation episodes. I think Megan and I worked for 5 hours on her Siege character or something fucking stupid like that.
I don't think that...
No, it was that long, I promise. It was
there was a lot
hours.
of other things that we were doing, though. We were not
true.
super focused, let's be real.
By the way, I saw you put question marks next to these things. Do you want to know what they are? Oscar?
Yes.
Those are, water basins to store water.
Well, so long... Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. So long as they're not, omnidirectional murder turrets or something like that.
No. No, yeah, they're like, they're moisture gatherers, right?
They're pretty indistinct visually.
Yes,
so I wanted to confirm.
Now I'm wondering if anybody knew they had hover cycles before I just revealed that.
Nope.
Okay.
Negative.
I'm gonna bring everybody back here, and I'm gonna remind you what I said 30 times.
You can see what you can see, which is that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't know they had 2.
When we first... No, I know. I remember
one is in a garage, but yeah.
I did not.
When we
I did
had
not
first
label that as a
looked-
hover cycle.
When we first looked at this map, the very first thing I said was, "Oh, those look like pod racers," and everybody laughed, and I was like, "Okay, whatever, never mind." And everybody ignored me, so oh well.
No, I mean I saw those too, but they're fairly small.
We had to figure that there are vehicles that are going to come out at us.
Right.
It's not really that out of the...
There's really no way that we could have planned for every single eventuality with this. Otherwise, it would take us another 4 weeks, and then, you know,
It's okay.
we are of somewhat limited means.
Indeed. So, let's do experience. Matt, I'm doing experience. Do you hear? I'm doing experience. Matt, all right, do you hear?
What's that?
I'm doing experience. Session experience.
Got you.
Don't worry,
what have I normally been giving? I think I've been giving like 250.
250-ish?
Yeah.
It's typically what I've been giving. I really liked the mixture of things that happened today, so I have 300.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, I'm so close.
Oh, screw you.
Experts, man.
If we live through this session, I will totally level up.
I don't even want to hear it.
Experts.
I'm so far off from level 5.
I know, but did you hear what I said before that? That if we live through this mission, that's a huge if.
Yeah.
Perfect. Any parting words from anybody?
So
Well, it was good playing with you all, and I love you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so we've got to just reorganize our equipment.
Yeah,
before
yeah.
next
So
week.
so homework for everybody is get your encumbrance in order. Note that like you could probably have strapped. Let's say you could have strapped maybe 5 encumbrance worth of gear to each bike.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I
whoever's
was just
riding
gonna ask.
whoever's riding the bike, add like 5 encumbrance that you can add to the bike and not have any penalties or anything.
Well, we can add some stuff to the one motorcycle because we have a character sheet for it.
Right, totally. In fact, let's just make another character sheet for both motorcycles. That way, since you're technically not driving yours currently.
Yeah.
So I'll just add a character. Oops. Edit. All players. Fortune's Moto. There we go. Okay, there's Fortune's Moto. All right, cool. So you guys can edit that as you fit. Fortune, if you just want to copy over those stats to that.
Yeah, I'll do that sometime today.
Yeah, totally.
Or this week, I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just copy the stats over. It'd be good. Anything else? Any parting words?
We are so fucked.
I don't know. I don't know yet.
Accurate.
As appropriate with the
yet.
Stars Without Number game, we are so fucked. Perfect. I like the throwback, Matt. That was good.
Yep.
I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm sure it's not gonna be that bad. And on that note, I'm going to do outro. I'll see you guys later. Or in a few minutes. I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna be gone. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Okay, guys, thank you for showing up. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was a really fun session. We got some minor ship combat. Wasn't too exciting. Wasn't too crazy. But we did get some minor ship combat, which was a lot of fun. And then we got some traveling and some good RP moments. And now we're starting our mission to hopefully see if the party is prepared well enough for this. If you like what I do and you're watching this on YouTube, you can go to my Twitch and hit follow. You can see us go live. If you don't like what I do, you can do that anyway, because it's cool of you to do. And you know how to use the internet, so you know how to find me. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. It's all the same name, Mankey Games. And as always, we like to end here on a good note, so from all of us to you, may your dice roll well, and may you not die.